FineScale Model Basics is sponsored by Hobby Zone USA, your source for hobby storage solutions, hard-to-find modeling tools, and aftermarket modeling needs.
Welcome to Scale Model Basics. I'm Tim Kidwell. Have you ever heard of reverse washes? It's a technique that is used mostly on embossed parts, like this photo etched piece right here I have that says Alpha Moon Base on it. You can see that the part has these raised details that are all basically one level, and then a recessed area around those details. If you want the raised details of this embossed part to be a different color than the recessed portions around them, what you'll do is use a reverse wash, which takes advantage of the attributes of both lacquers and enamels. Here's what you're gonna need. A lacquer color, in this case, Tamiya Italian Red. A lacquer gloss coat, in this case, Tamiya Clear. A second color in an enamel. And then, in order to make the effect work, you're going to need an enamel thinner. Try to pair it with the enamel color that you're using. You don't want something too powerful. Or, as an alternative, lighter fluid. And then, you're also going to want a bunch of Q-tips. Before you get going, make sure you prime your part. I use Tamiya Gray Primer, a lacquer-based spray paint. After your primer is dry, you want to spray your first color. In my case, it was Tamiya Italian Red. After your first lacquer color is dry, overcoat it with a clear gloss lacquer. When changing paint mediums, it's always a good idea to clean your airbrush out before going from one to the other. In this case, I was going from lacquers to enamels, so I made sure to clean out my airbrush before I sprayed the enamels. After your clear gloss is dry, it's time now to spray your second color. In my case, it's Revell Black Enamel. Put it on the part and then let it dry. All of our colors are now on the part. You want to make sure that your enamel is completely, thoroughly dry before you do this, just like you would if you were applying a wash. You want that wash to be all dry, and then you come in with your thinners. I have both the Revell thinner for the enamel that we used, and I also have the lighter fluid over here that so many of you like to use. So I'm going to start with the lighter fluid, and what we want to do is make sure you have enough Q-tips on hand, because we're going to go through a few of them, and we're just going to start to clean off the enamel. And you want to be careful, you're not trying to get down into that recess, you are just trying to clean off these raised portions. So you can see that the enamel is coming off and it's revealing the red underneath. So I'm just going to go ahead and work around this and get the rest of it off. I'm going to go ahead and use the Revell thinner now, meant for that enamel, and start cleaning up some of the interior stuff. And remember, you don't want to push super hard, because you're not trying to eat through anything from below. That's not your, that's not your objective. That's not your goal. So here's the end result of a reverse wash on that photo etched embossed part. A couple of things that I want you to keep in mind. First, you definitely want to use lacquer underneath the enamel paint. Okay? Lacquer is more resilient and you're going to be doing a lot of rubbing. Second, use either the thinner that belongs to the kind of paint, that the enamel that you're using, or the lighter fluid. Now for me, I would use the lighter fluid because the lighter fluid seems less aggressive, and that means that it's going to give you a little bit more working time. The enamel thinner itself really was hitting that enamel, and I was just, for me, it was doing a little bit too much work, so I wanted something a little bit gentler. So I ended up using mostly the lighter fluid. Also, give yourself a range of Q-tips. I've got a little guy here, and then one that's got a longer stick on it, but it had a really nice tight weave up at the top, and then some regular Q-tips. The thing is this, you don't want a lot of cotton dragging through your work, okay, because that can cause clouding, or it might stick to areas, the lower areas where that you might get some thinner down in there, and you might get some loose cotton in there. So what you want to do is make sure that you have as tight a weave on your Q-tips as possible. That's how you do reverse washes. I'm Tim Kidwell. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.